Welcome to the Tarot Flow online studio. Before you start practicing the Tarot Flow yoga videos, I suggest watching this series of basics sessions just because I give a little more cues, a little more alignment as to how to get into certain positions, what they're called, what you might be hearing a lot more in my practice. And every teacher has a different way of explaining things, so I'm going to do this all in these basic sessions. Not everything, but a lot of it, just the basics, so that you become more familiar with them. And you can always come back and repeat them, especially if you're new to practicing physical yoga asana practice. Then I suggest doing them a few times and maybe just repeating them every now and then. They're not too long, and they will just help you to become more familiar and comfortable with A, my teaching style, and B, what I mean when I say certain things, what certain positions are called, how you can find yourself into them, how you can move into those asanas, and just become a little more familiar and safe so that when you're moving between practices, and this is the one most important thing, when you're moving between asanas and moving in your whole practice, stay engaged, stay present, and stay mindful with your body and the movements. Feel what is happening inside you. Only you can do that. I can't feel I can instruct and give you cues and tips, but in the end, you have to be aware of what's happening in your body. If something feels uncomfortable, painful, too much uncomfortable, discomfort is okay to a certain degree, but if it feels really uncomfortable and painful, um, don't do it. Move slowly and softly out of the position that you're in. Injuries happen usually when we move too fast, when we're not engaged with our body and just sort of like flop around. So you don't want to be doing that. Know that everybody is different. Every physical body is different. We have slightly different proportions. So certain poses, certain asanas might be easier for one and harder for another to get into the pressed form. But, and that's the most important thing in yoga, that there are no rights and wrongs. There are no, this is the exact way to do this pose. There's different streaks, different, I don't know if you say lineages, arms, branches of yoga, and everyone is slightly different in how they would align and position you into a certain asana. Keeping that in mind, if what I teach is maybe different from what you've experienced elsewhere, that's totally fine. You can just choose what works for you. You can also feel free to incorporate your style of practice, mainly keeping the responsibility to be mindful of yourself within you. Only you can do that, especially when you're using an online tools. I don't particularly use many props. Because I'm traveling, I don't have all these props on me. It does not mean I don't agree or disapprove of them. You can do whatever feels comfortable for you. Sometimes I'll give you a suggestion as what you could do for an alternative now, using a prop like a cushion, a bolster, a block, a book, a belt, whatever you have. Feel free to use that whenever it helps you. And also keeping in mind that you can always go back into your home, your balasana, child's pose. It's important to remember that yoga is not about pushing your body into certain positions. That is the asana practice, where we engage our mind and our bodies through movement and into certain positions to basically engage and bind our mind and body together, creating a balance and a connection of those two. Yoga is a lot more. It's a philosophy, it's an idea, it's something you can transport and transfer to every aspect and every practice of life. You can eat your food in a yogic way. You can walk through the street as a yogi would, which does not mean that you're walking like you're in an asana position. It means you're engaged and fully aware, and your mind is engaged with what your body is doing. And there's a symbiosis between the two, moving and balancing together. In the yoga asana practice, which is what everybody associates with yoga, we are practicing the body, the physical version of engaging our mind by instructing our body to do certain things and creating that balance between tension and ease, or between effort and ease, which also means that it's very important that you don't push yourself over the limits. You can test and reach and like move around, seeing, experimenting, trying out where your limit is, and also keeping in mind that that might be different yesterday, today, tomorrow, in 10 years. You might feel like you're regressing, going back. Whatever it is, it's just changing. Your body's ever changing. If you're female bodied, you might also experience the hormonal changes more. You might notice that your might experience that this all becomes a little more mushy when you're in your menstrual phase. And this will naturally affect how your yoga asana practice looks. And just keep that in mind, that there's no better or worse, or progressing and getting better and getting more advanced. All of this is it's not relevant. That's not at all what yoga is about. So let's just drop that ego, in the sense of observing it and being aware that it's there. When you hear the voices in your head that like, oh shit, last time I could do this and now it's not working. This doesn't feel, I feel like I'm taking a step back, or I should be able to do this. Look at everybody else. Whatever it is, observe it. Be like, oh, hello, ego. Nice to see you again. How are you today? Apparently very judgmental. Okay. And that's okay. Allow it to be there. Don't act on it. You don't have to follow what your ego is advising. You can follow what your inner intuition, which is maybe separate from the ego, I don't even know, but observe the ego being there. It's part of our life. It's active at times, sometimes less active, other times more active. But for me, that's what yoga practice is also about. Stepping away from the ego and observing it and holding it and giving it space, but not bowing down to it, not allowing it to take control. Whatever and whoever it is that's behind the ego, the consciousness, I don't know. That is what I'm trying to stay in tune with. So I invite you to do that, especially when you're in your yoga asana practice and throughout your day, whenever you notice there's an ego popping up, saying something judgmental about somebody or about yourself. Half the time our ego is criticizing ourselves. Ego's a bitch sometimes, so that's okay. Just say, thank you. How can I help you today? Listen to what she's got to say, and then let her carry on in a loving, compassionate way, not in a condescending, like, ooh, who do you think you are? I'm better than you, because then it's just another ego battling another ego. No, we don't want that. We just want consciousness, understanding, accepting that all parts of us are there, all parts of us are valid, legitimate, and just wanting our best.